Hey, shalom, shalom. First off, I'd like to say, call halal, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah Bahashim Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me. Also would like to say peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect, the Akim that's pushing his word in all sincerity and faith throughout the four corners of the earth. For the few sincere sisters who watch and believe, shalom to you as well. Shalom to all the new fruit, the new viewership, the new believers coming into the faith. And I was just meditating on how, the scriptures talk about keeping your eye single, and we got to set our affections on things above and not things within this earth, because as we know it, we're pilgrims passing through. This is a temporal setup, and this environment that we're in right now, this carnal environment, man, is going to perish. And of course, the kingdom of heaven is going to be established on earth. But the point I'm making is sometimes, we can get caught up dwelling on the past, which for some brothers, your past may help you make better decisions going forward in the future, but you can't reflect too much on your past, man. That's why you have a windshield that's bigger than your rearview mirror in a car, because you're only supposed to glance from time to time in the rear view, but your main focus should be looking ahead. So this is just a video of exhortation just for brothers to just focus more so on what's ahead, because whenever you just ponder too much on what happened in the past, that's when depression lies, man, And then also too, we have to master the art of being lost in the process of the present, because that's going to set the foundation and the tone for our steps moving forward. But before I ramble on, hopefully that makes sense. I'll get a scripture that I had in mind that I wanted to get. This is Philippians, the 3rd chapter, and I'm going to read it in the King James version, and I'm going to read it in the NLT version. This is Philippians 3:13. It says, "Brethren, I count not myself to apprehend it." So we've not apprehended the kingdom. The scripture says many are called, but few are chosen. So we have an opportunity. We've received our calling into this faith, man. Us receiving this word, the Lord waking us up, man. But the scripture says, "He that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved." So it says, Philippians 3:13, "Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forth unto those things which are before." So, yeah, that's the point being made, man. In order to apprehend, in which at the end of the day, we're trying to apprehend deliverance, salvation, and then we also want to be a part of the elect that's going to inherit the kingdom of heaven, being joint heirs with Yahweh Shah, man. Having these heathen nations in subjection, man. Having all of our desires just completely fulfilled, man. But it says, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forth unto those things which are before. It says, I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of the Most High Yahweh and his son, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. So that should be our mode of operandi, so to speak, pressing forward towards the mark, the prize of our calling into this faith, man. Because the scripture says, where there's no vision, the people perish. So you got to always have a purpose-driven life. And I don't want to sound like T.D. Jakes and these other, evangelists, but there is truth in that, man. You have to live your life, and especially, your life within this truth, because that's the main focal point of your life. There has to be purpose, man. You have to wake up with a vision in mind of what you're fighting for, man. And when you have purpose, that dictates how you walk going forward, man. So our ultimate mission is to press towards the mark, towards our high calling, which is to get the kingdom of heaven, man. So you hinder yourself when you look back, when you focus on things that are outside of your control, when you focus on previous losses, which we always say, man, it ain't no such thing as L's. You know, we look at L's as lessons, you know, lessons to magnify your focus going forward. Okay. But I'm going to actually read this also in the NLT version. Okay. So this is Philippians 3:13. It says, "No, dear brothers and sisters, I have not achieved it, but I focus on this one thing, forgetting the past and looking forward to what lies ahead." So it says, forget the past, you know? So in a sense, which I know the reality is you're not going to forget your past. You know, we always have moments where we reflect on certain things in the past. It may be certain good things in the past. That's why, like, a lot of times, a lot of the songs and music that you enjoy, it brings back memories of things and good times you may have had at one point or another. Okay. But as far as putting yourselves in the best position to move forward within your walk of faith, you have to forget those things which are in the past. It says, but I focus on this one thing, forgetting the past and looking forward to what lies ahead. So we have to look forward to what lies ahead, man. You know, and even within the midst of prophecy, man, you know, the so-called uncomfortable things like the time of Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation, we have to look forward to those things as well, man. You know, because the scriptures tells you in Jeremiah, when you read Jeremiah 29, that the Most High, he's going to give us an expected end. Okay. So we have to embrace what's ahead. You know, it says, verse 14, Philippians 3:14 in the NLT version. It says, I press on to reach the end of the race and receive the heavenly prize for which the Most High through his son, Yahushua, is calling us. So we have to press on, man, to reach the end of our race, man. And the Apostle Paul, when you read in 1 Corinthians, he says, matter of fact, I got to look for it. Salaki, I think it's 1 Corinthians, the 9th chapter, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to read it real quick. I think it's around the 24th verse. This is 1 Corinthians 9:24. It says, know ye not they which run in a race all? Salaki. 1 Corinthians 9:24. It says, know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize. So if you run in a race, man, you're going to lose the race if you're looking back towards the other people that's in the race, you know, trying to see who catching you, trying to see where you at. You know, most likely you're going to lose that race. You know, a good runner, you know, that has experience, you're going to be looking forward, man. You're looking towards the finish line. That's the point I'm making, man. Like, even like if you, like in track, they have hurdles. Like if you run in the hurdles, sometimes the hurdlers, you might get tripped over by a hurdle, you know, but if it is to a point where you tripping over the hurdle, it doesn't completely knock you out of the race. You're steady. You're still able to continue forward. You still may have a chance to win that race. But let's say you trip over the hurdle and then you begin to look back at the hurdle. And then before you know it, you're losing the race, man, because you look back. If I could just, you know, put it into an analogy or a reference, you know, where, you know, brothers and sisters can visualize, man. But I'm going to read this again. The Apostle Paul, this epistle to the Israelites that were in the church of Corinth, Greece. This is 1 Corinthians 9:24. It says, know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run that ye may obtain. So you have to have purpose while you're running. Right now, we're running in this faith, man. We receive this knowledge, brothers that are out there teaching on the highways and the byways, making their bodies a living sacrifice, putting up these lessons on YouTube, man. You know, just being within the midst of the body, being charitable, just, you know, making yourself vulnerable within the brotherhood. Those are the ways in which we run. But we got to understand, it says, you so run that ye may obtain. So we're not running for nothing, man. You know, you have to understand what you're running for. There has to be an objective goal to anything that you're doing in life. You know, there has to be a goal at the end, so to speak, man. So we're trying to obtain. Even Peter said, when you read Matthew, I believe 19, around the 27th verse, he said, we have forsaken all to follow ye. What shall we have after? So even Peter, you know, he was understood that there had to be something waiting, a reward at the other end, so to speak. Something that push you, that compels you to press forward, you know? Just like I started off in Philippians, something that compels you to press towards the mark of your high calling, man. You know? Let me see here. I'm going to get another scripture. Because it's things within this world, man. You know, Jacob get caught up in a woman that left, a job or a business situation or opportunity that didn't work out. You know, you may have had a loss or whatever the case may be. You may have had certain relationships within your family, certain friends you thought was cool, that you may have got betrayed. But you can't allow none of these things to hinder your mark towards you pressing forward towards the mark of your high calling, man. You know, we're on a mission, man. Like, even for guys like that's, you know, in the military, that's on a war campaign, you know, you might have a fellow soldier, you know, that gets killed in the midst of the combat. But you can't get just overwhelmed with emotion and looking back and not setting your mindset on continuing forward on the mission, man. Or you're going to jeopardize yourself and everybody in your squad, man. So we have to look at it that way as well. In the way that our movement's going forward. It's not, you got to look at it that your movement's going forward is not just affecting you, but it could affect the brother next to you. It could affect the body, you know? But I'll read this and I'll end out the short lesson, man. I just want to speak a few words as I was going on a little nature walk, parting the cars and stuff whizzing by me. Now I'm in a little area where it's cars and a little traffic, but continuing on, this is Colossians 3, and I'll go right to the point in verse 2. It says, set your affection, and your affection means like your lust, your desires, man. It says, set your affections on things above. So right there, that's a mindset, man. That's a mindset right there. The scriptures tells you also, when you read Philippians, the 2nd chapter, let this mind be in you, which was also in Hamashiach Yahushua. Because when the Lord was on the earth as Yahushua, man, he was gung-ho about fulfilling his father's mission, man, completing his course, man. He didn't have a woman, you know, he didn't have any type of, you know, things that can hinder him moving forward to accomplishing his mission, man. So we have to be in that singleness of mind as our greatest example today, Yahushua was. But back here in Colossians 3 and 2, it says, set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. Because this earth, man, as we know it, it's completely, like it says in Micah, the 2nd chapter, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it's polluted. Everything in this place is just completely polluted, defiled. You know, it's nothing pure here anymore, man. The women are defiled. The food is defiled. The quality of the air, the water. You know, everybody just has a wicked, bizarre, weirdo mindset, man. You know, common sense ain't common in this hellhole that we're currently in called America, man. So you shouldn't really have any long-term goals in this place, man. Any long-term desires for this place, man. I'll read it again. Colossians 3 and 2. Set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. For ye are dead, and your life is hid with Hamashiach in the Most High Yahweh. So we're pretty much dead to this place, man. And that doesn't mean physically dead, but that just means as far as the brothers that's sincerely about the ministry, man, we're not entangled by the affairs of this world, man, because we're focused on the kingdom. You know, seek ye the kingdom first, and all things shall be added to you. So even within some of the lustful or the desires that you have in this world, man, if you seek the kingdom first, the Most High will give you some of the pleasures of your heart from time to time, man. But that shouldn't be the main priority that you strive for. Things within this world that are, gonna vanish, that won't bring any value, that won't bring you salvation at the end of the day, that won't deliver you from all of this tribulation that's about to come down the line, man. I'll read it in the NLT in Colossians 3:2. It says, think about the things of heaven, not the things of earth. So that's point blank, man. We got to focus our mindset going forward, man, on the kingdom of heaven. Having that singleness of mind, man, and not allowing anything to distract us, from achieving our goal, from receiving our reward. Because it tells you when you read Hebrews, the 6th chapter, the Most High, he's not unrighteous to forget our reward and our labor of love, man. So there is going to be a benefit to serving the Lord. There's going to be a benefit for forsaking everything within this world to follow the Lord, man. And also too, just to bring everything back full circle, man, don't get caught dwelling in the past, man. Because usually if it's not things that brought you joy, if it's things that brought you trauma from your past, man, you got to just find a way to just put those things behind you and think about what's ahead, man, because that's counterproductive, man, and you could be hindering your walk by looking back, try to walk forward looking back at night, and we're in the land of gross darkness. So we got to keep our focus ahead, man, so we don't trip over, But with all being said, Lord willing, this edified, I just want to say a few words. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, peace, and blessings to the elect.